thing. And then hopefully we can also hopefully we can also answer some questions if there's a downtime. So I'll be monitoring the live chat here, and if you guys want to toss in some questions, we'll do a little activism and Q&A situation. This is going to be an experiment in you know, live production. So this is just going to be kind of chill. We're just going to hang out. It's going to be a whole thing.
Yeah.
Hopefully this works.
If anything, sometimes we'll put up clips and we'll show like people on the other side of this issue, and they usually act crazy or belligerent, stupid, and just kind of walk off. And sometimes we see comments that are like, oh yeah, you're not putting up any clips of like the smart people that you engage with. Like, you're being selective. Well, we're not being selective. We're just gonna stream. We just got here, we just set up. We don't know who we're gonna come into contact with. We don't know what's gonna be happening, but
it's almost like it's like that every time.
It's like that every time.
Yeah.
But for the people who think, well, maybe they're curating their material, and it's like, no, generally speaking, it actually was.
Yep.
So the idea is that once there's people on the stream,
Yeah,
if there's a lull, you can give us a bit of a...
Right, so put your...
And so you'll even see some behind the scenes stuff like me saying, hey, that's a terrible place for Nicholas to have his sign. It's gonna eventually blow into the... Just try to hold the boat.
Yeah, you got it, you got it.
It's gonna blow into the street.
We have the America's Navy Band giving us accompaniment today. Apparently it's Navy Week here in Oklahoma City.
Yeah, shout out to the, what did they say their name was?
The Navy Band, or like America's Navy Band.
America's Navy Band, providing the soundtrack.
They're from Florida, yes, and they're actually pretty great.
Playing a bunch of radio songs. They're probably gonna get us in all sorts of copyright violations.
Yeah, maybe so. Yes, sir.
What do you think about that? You agree with both propositions? Women are not sex objects. Babies are not body parts.
100%.
Awesome. You guys have a great night. 100%. So I've got with me out here this sign, soon to be a t-shirt, available hopefully for order next week.
We got some people asking where we're at. We are in...
This is available now.
We're in Bricktown, Oklahoma City, right across the street from the Chickasaw Bricktown Ballpark.
We are in Mickey Mantle Plaza.
Yes, sir, that is where we are at.
How are you guys doing? Just collect them all, man. Good reading.
Yes, we are streaming live from the streets. First time ever done that. So we're gonna have lots of mistakes and goofy stuff going on today.
How are you guys doing?
Hey, Shells, where did Molly go? Where did Molly go?
She must be with the Silbermans.
The Silbermans are? Okay.
So people who are watching the live stream, you'll see that sometimes when you come out here, you just kind of stand a bit. You know, you have to stand and watch, let people walk by. And you know, there's different approaches that people take. You'll probably notice on our channel that we take a pretty chilled approach. Hey, how you guys doing?
Good, how are you?
You're on YouTube.
YouTube.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry.
No, you're okay.
That probably freaks them out if you say
Yeah,
that.
sorry.
Hey, you're like...
Didn't mean to freak you out. It's like you stop there, you're on YouTube. But as I was saying, you know, you kind of just, you're out here looking at people. I do a lot of just like kind of looking around, looking at people's eyes, seeing whether or not they're engaging with the material any. And if I see some kind of engagement, I will maybe say something to them. But if they look like they're trying to avoid me, how are you guys doing?
Hello
I
from
will
Bronx, New York. Wow.
let them
nice.
walk by. Some people think another approach is like just constant preaching or constant talking to everyone who goes by. Not knocking that method, but it is not a method that I have found to be conducive to getting people to stop and talk and have quality conversations. And so you have to sit, it's kind of like fishing. Stand out here with a sign, look at people as they're walking by, you'll get a bite, nibble. Sometimes you may have to pull a little bit, but you'll get people to stop. And the people who stop because they're interested, lo and behold, better conversations than the people that don't stop, that are forced. And sometimes you do have to wait a while.
Yeah. Yeah.
Never this long though. This is ridiculous.
Whatever.
If this, doesn't pan out, Nathan chose the spot.
Yeah. Yeah, the Navy band kind of ruined our plans a little bit. We had to go try some different places.
Nathan chose that spot down there.
Yeah.
What do you think about that? Good?
Hey, Russell,
Yes.
do women holding the signs help change people's minds more often than the fellas?
Nope. Best Q&A ever. No, but I will say something about it. So, obviously I'm male. Chelsea, I don't know if she's in the shot, female.
Yeah.
What'll happen though, almost invariably, and then Molly's right there, she'll be doing it as well. What almost happens invariably is if you're out here and talking to someone, they will be like, well, where's all the women? And it's usually like, well, there's one right there, and there's one right there. Point, it doesn't matter anyway. They're saying where are the women as though that's an argument, but then when you say, well, there are 3 ladies out here with us, there are 3 ladies and 4 men, then all of a sudden it doesn't matter. Now, if you're saying, well, does it help to have equal representation? Possibly. I think, the more people you have out, the better. But if you don't have any women with you, you still can get into great conversations and engage people. We don't look at this as a women's rights thing. We look at this as a human rights thing, and particularly a thou shalt not murder thing, so a justice thing. And you don't have to be a female to stand up for human rights.
So someone's asking, what is that last symbol? What are they talking? What symbol are you talking about, man?
The last symbol?
Yeah. There's lots of symbols, but I don't know what you mean by the last one.
I'm all about symbols.
Yeah,
We
Russell's
just had a
big
question about
symbology guy.
this goes better if you have women out here with us.
Yep.
Yes.
Check. Just like, see, Molly, she doesn't really know anything or how to answer questions. She's really not even for abolition. She's for abortion because
Prop.
she's clearly a woman, but we pay her
She's our
20 bucks
token
an hour
woman.
to stand here so I can be like, no. Actually, it turns out that more women oppose abortion than men whenever we're out here. That's what I find. The thumbs ups and the, hey, I'm with you, come from women more than they come from men. Not women who've murdered their babies, but women who have not.
But a lot of the men that are surrounding you guys are dads who have allowed it to happen or even
Yep.
pushed it.
Yep.
Or fathers, like fathers that
Fathers who have-
like grandfathers of the babies that died.
Yeah, they have there's definitely, I'd say they are the most belligerent. The post-abortive man.
So somebody asked, I'll answer this question. Do we ever sidewalk counsel outside the hellhole clinics? Yes, we did. Basically I got involved in around 2018, 2019. But he's been going to abortion clinics in Norman since like 2010. But here in Oklahoma, the clinics got closed down. So then the question is, because abortion is still happening, you know, abortion's still happening probably just as much as it was before. What do we do now that the clinics are closed down? So we go to the people who are having abortions.
Yeah.
And that's just people in the culture. And so we're out here in the culture. This is the abortion clinic.
Yeah, this is like people out here are ordering abortion pills and taking them.
Hey.
It's literally, you gotta stop having a clinic-centric mindset and have a culture-wide mindset. That even whenever there's clinics in your area, how do you reach those people who have appointments set up for abortions? Only at the abortion mill or out and about, much more likely that you reach them out and about. If more Christians were doing this.
And that's not to say that going to clinics are a bad thing.
Yeah, you should still do that too.
Yeah. Or mills. We'll get in trouble for calling them clinics, but
yeah, clinics.
Yeah.
How are you guys doing tonight? Doing well. It's nicer out here than we expected. The weatherman said it was going to be a lot hotter. Happy about that. Talking about the weather with people on a live stream. Feel like some really solid Christian out there is going to be like, that guy talked about the weather with those people. Does he not care about their souls? It's like, well.
Do we need a permit to be out here? No. Hey, here's a question.
No.
What is the best way to interact with your organization / organize events in your local community? So I think he's talking about like how can he do what we're doing in his community or join us with what we're doing. I think that's the question.
Well, one bit of an advertisement. We are working on setting up a Discord channel where anyone who wants to get actively involved in doing these things with us or help finding other abolitionists in their areas, we're going to work really hard to try to network and build a community like that. But if you're like from Oklahoma or something like that and you really want to get involved with us, we scour the messages as much as we can. We have a contact button on the Abolitionist Rising website. There's Facebook, Instagram, all that kind of stuff. And we've actually there's a number of folks that come out with us who either met us while we were out doing this or watched it on YouTube or TikTok and said, hey, I want to do that. And they've met us wherever we're going. So you got to do a little bit of work. But it's easy to do. But if you're not in our state and you want help finding the abolitionists in your state, again, that's one of the reasons that we exist. AbolitionistRising.com has an interactive map on it where you can click on your state, and if there's an abolitionist organization in your state, what's that? You don't agree at all on nothing? Do you believe humans have rights? I bet you we can find some kind of common ground. Women are not sex objects? You don't agree with me at all? See, that's a kind of an unthinking comment. I don't agree with you at all. Women are not sex objects. You don't agree with that?
Yeah.
Some people do not stop long enough to even read the signs.
I think she saw the abortionist.
Yeah.
Okay.
Which is okay. It's a little hard to do the whole Q&A and talk to people, so at some point in time we will slow down on the Q&A, but right now we're still...
Got one question. Someone gave us a super chat, a first ever super chat. Genuinely curious, how come the pro-life and abolitionist sides can't be on the same side?
If you're genuinely curious, there's a whole lot more answers that you can find, like on websites like abolitionistrising.com, freethestates.org will show you the differences between pro-life and abolitionism.
How you doing?
It's an ideological difference that goes deeper than you probably realize. And then there's websites like abolishhumanabortion.com, or there's a website called Google, and you can just type in differences between abolition and pro-life. I got love, but I gotta say.
Yeah.
But can they work together? Here's the fact of the matter. Over the past 10 years, you would say, why aren't these people working together? Well, our desire would be that pro-lifers would support the abolition of abortion, legislatively, culturally, that they would join us in bringing the gospel into conflict with the evil of child sacrificing in every area. But the actual facts aren't that we are making up the divide or that we are causing the divide. The facts are pro-lifers from the top down, the pro-life movement heads, establishment leaders, kill abolition bills. So since 2016, there have been multiple bills of abolition put forward in states all across the United States of America. And when those bills are put forward in places like Oklahoma, where we're at now, where you literally have a majority of pro-lifers in the Senate, a majority of the pro-lifers in the House, and pro-lifers in the governor's office, when we put forward bills of total and immediate abolition of abortion, guess who kills those bills, votes against those bills? It is the pro-life politicians. And guess whose permission and encouragement they have? The pro-life lobbyists. And whenever we put forward bills of abolition and we say, hey, this is a righteous, just, good, holy bill that will protect preborn babies from murder and establish God's justice on earth as it's meant to be, guess who doesn't point at them and say, this is a good thing, I want all our people to support it? Pro-lifers. So why don't pro-lifers and abolitionists work together? It's because pro-lifers are opposed to the ideology and strategy of abolitionism. We would, of course, welcome them to support any and every abolition bill or abolition activity. Now, if somebody who calls themselves pro-life but doesn't know any of the things that I'm talking about, but agrees with our TikTok or YouTube or videos, and they want to come do what we're doing, sure, come on out, no problem. Chances are they call themselves pro-life, but if they see what we're doing and they like it, they're probably more close, ideologically speaking, to abolitionism, even though they're not using that word. We are encouragers of not using that word because, as I said, pro-life, the pro-life movement has used their money and their influence, their power, to kill bills of abolition. And so when you call yourself a pro-lifer, and they kill a bill of abolition, and they say, as they said in one of their letters last year, this doesn't just represent the pro-life establishment leaders, this represents tens of millions of pro-life Americans. But you call yourself pro-life, they go kill bills, and they do it with your approval. So we can go much more deeply into it, but you know, scroll back a bit.
What do you think? Yeah.
On our YouTube channel, and you'll see lots of more in-depth teaching on the differences, and you know.
Yeah. If you go to abolitionist-not-pro-life, so abolitionist not pro-life with hyphens all in between, that gives a big, it's a good page that explains all that in good detail. And we're not just being schismatic, it really is, there's a true difference. Hey, that's a nice hat, where's it from?
It's from my computer to the Hatch store, to the printing, to on the Abolitionist Rising store. Store.abolitionistrising.com.
Yeah, nailed it.
But, yeah, nailed it. Eventually. No, but this hat, I believe, may be almost out of stock. There's like 6 of these in the store, I think.
Oh, yeah.
They are almost gone, but we are going to reorder them and other colors, combinations, maybe a new design. But yes, they are available soon. How are you guys doing? Oh man, just letting him, just pushing him around.
What do you think? No?
Back in my day.
You're just shaking her head.
You're shaking her head?
Yeah, just one of those.
Oh, maybe she didn't like my comment.
Hey, appreciate all your prayers, guys. Definitely pray. We got people out here, just talking to people.
Yeah.
So if we don't get to have many good conversations, pray that even these guys have good conversations with people.
People aren't really coming up and talking to me so much because I'm talking to y'all, but we do have some conversations going on.
Yeah.
And also, lots of people are taking the literature. They're just always good. Sometimes they take literature and they don't talk to you, but they go home and read it and their life's changed. Sometimes they don't talk to you, don't take literature, but they read the sign. And God, who's a more interested evangelist than any of you, will use it to bring them to repentance. So just be faithful, do what you can.
What faith tradition are you guys members of? I think all of us are Reformed Baptist, right?
Yeah, I mean, Reformed Baptist. I'm not, full blown.
Oh yeah. Let's get into that.
Let's get into a. I'm an Amarildian. Someone's gonna be like, "Whoa, that sounded weird." Yeah, we're basically Baptist, Bible-believing Christians who fall in line with the more Reformed tradition. We're Protestants, if you're wondering that.
Okay, well, everybody except for Russell is a 1689 Reformed Baptist.
Oh, I like the 1689 London Confession. I do that. I just, I don't want anyone watching thinking, is that guy a 5-point Calvinist? I'm like, well, I modify one of the points. I'm not going to tell you which.
Yeah, that's a conversation for later, I guess.
Now I'm going to get evangelized by the Calvinist in the comment section.
Oh, thank you to Jack for $20. I have enormous respect for what you guys are doing, especially as someone who will soon be the father of an unplanned son, and has been doing my best to ensure I follow a more godly route. God bless you guys. I appreciate that, man.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah.
$20. We're gonna find a food truck somewhere.
For those who are asking, we're in Bricktown, Oklahoma City. I like your shirt, man. God is good. There you go. That is some Oklahoma Bible Belt stuff right there.
Yeah, God is good all the time. He has risen. He has indeed. It's like even the secularists around here know to say it.
Yeah.
Not that guy was a secularist. So I'm gonna let.
If it became law that abortion is illegal, would you support prosecuting women with murder who commit abortion? Absolutely, yes.
Yeah.
Abortion is not abolished until it is treated like murder.
Yeah.
So we are 100% for that.
Now, and it's important to think about that. Think about it this way. You can say, like, should women who become pregnant and then when they see that they're with child, decide that they don't want to be with child and do something like order a pill, set up an appointment, or put a coat hanger inside themselves, anything and everything that they do to make themselves no longer with child, this is something they're choosing to do with forethought, and they're planning to make themselves no longer with child. So that's a malicious thing that they're doing. But with malice of forethought, if they go and they break the law, which says thou shalt not murder by abortion, they are guilty of breaking a law. So should people who are guilty of breaking a law to murder other human beings be punished? Yes. Doesn't matter if they're women or men, black, white, rich, poor, short, tall, etc., etc. If there's a law saying you're not allowed to murder, and it's a just law, yes, you will be punished if you break that law. Now, don't be confused. Right now, there's a lot of people who are murdering their babies with permission under the color of law. If you passed a bill to abolish abortion as murder, you could not retroactively apply that. So you would only be punishing, which sounds, you'd only be like carrying out the law against people who broke the law. Now you say something like, well, but women don't know. Well, then pass a law saying this is murder. If you do it, you'll be in trouble. Then they know. And then if they know, and then they still go and they abort their children.
How you doing?
It is like insanely dumb and unjust to say, no, women should be afforded special murder rights to get rid of their babies and have immunity. And that actually, if you've been following the question 2 or 3 questions ago, that's part and parcel of the difference between pro-lifers and abolitionists. Pro-lifers as a movement and largely as a whole in the leadership are committed to never, they say it in their documents, we're not making this up, never, to use their language, punishing women. So they say that they believe there should be immunity for aborting mothers. That is a major disagreement between pro-lifers and abolitionists. One other thing is we call it murder even when it's not against the law, because that's what it actually is, according to God Almighty and in reality. And we call it murder, even though it's not against the law as murder, because we know a God who forgives murderers. And if you want to extend the gospel of grace to people who've murdered their children, the way to not do that is tell them they didn't really murder their children. They just need to forgive themselves. No, you tell them you murdered your child, but I've got good news. God forgives people who confess the murder of their children.
Amen.
And right now, you know, they can confess, get saved, be healed, be cleaned, you know, be born anew from that wicked sin, and they won't even be going to jail. In the future, the number of people who are seeking out and murdering children against the law is going to plummet if it is seriously treated just like murder of born people. So that'll protect women from becoming murderers, that'll protect babies from being murdered. Won't stop all murders because people murder born people, but it will do quite a bit. So I'm looking over here at James and his conversation. He was talking to the guy, and I think the guy said something like, well, how come you're not women? And James was like, look around. It was like that earliest question on the thread.
So we got a few questions here. I don't know if we're kind of getting to the point where we want to engage more or not. But...
Hey, cute puppies do great on YouTube.
Oh yeah, puppies, dude. Heck yeah. I got some of you guys' questions. I'm gonna wait for a minute.
Yep.
I didn't realize you were in OKC. I was just saying, did anything good ever come from Oklahoma? And I stand corrected. Keep up the good work. Well,
has anything good ever come out of Bethlehem or Nazareth
or Oklahoma?
Oklahoma?
Funny.
Yeah, all sorts of good things come out of Oklahoma. Like, you know, half the Heisman Trophy winners.
Hey, yeah. All right, I'm gonna try and not lose these. Gotta say, you guys are very brave.
How you guys do?
How you doing?
Oh, sorry, I had my invisible button.
Oh, sorry. What's that?
It's like, looked right there. I was like, how you doing? Looked right there.
Oh, yeah. It's okay to be Baptist. We can't all be perfect.
It's true.
Gotta say, you guys are very brave. I'm sure I'd get shot here in New Mexico holding signs like that.
No, you would not.
Yeah, then again, anything for God's kingdom. Godspeed. I appreciate that, man. I just say, I love New Mexico. I love, love, love New Mexico. And a lot of our people from Oklahoma. How you guys doing? What do you think?
What do you think? Oh, come on.
Oh, yeah.
Well, I want to know what you think. All right. People are scared out here. So everyone's like, you guys got to be brave. Actually, you know who's brave? The people who stop and talk.
So that's all we do. We just ask, what do you think? And usually that works a lot, actually.
Yeah, it generally works better than. I think out here, one of the difficulties when you are choosing spots, you'll notice that like in evening time around restaurants and bars and movie theaters and sporting events, you don't get as many people stopping and conversing with you as you do like a college campus. That's why you see us on college campuses more frequently than this kind of situation. Because college campuses are places where people, you know, have a lot of time.
I was going to say, a lot of our people from Oklahoma, if they need surgical abortions, they're going to New Mexico right now. A lot go to Kansas, but a lot go to New Mexico. So I've actually thought about going there to some mills. So hit me up, Nathan Weiser. I'm in the chat here. I might go with you. I might bring you to a mill there in Santa Fe or Albuquerque or something, because I love New Mexico. So
New Mexico is a very abortion-entrenched state.
Yeah.
It's kind of the late-term abortion capital of this part of the United States.
Okay, so we got a lot of people talking about the life of the mother exception. Like, if a woman's life in danger, is it medically necessary? Like, do we want to talk about like the Dublin Declaration and stuff like that? Or?
I mean, yeah, we can. I mean, if there's a lot of comments about it.
Yeah, there's been several.
I'd say in the context of like doing street work before getting into the actual nitty-gritty on it, you know, we think that we should advocate for children who are in dangerous situations, and that we should be advocates of the idea that mothers love their children so much that they would even put themselves in danger for their children. That shouldn't sound harsh to you. That should sound normal. Like my wife, if we were out here with my kids and one of my kids went out into the road and she had to go and push a kid out of the way and she got hit, she would do that. Women laying down their lives or men laying down their lives for their kids is normal and good. And so in a lot of medical situations where the baby has not actually perished, but is just in a place where if they continue to develop, they could perish, and they could perish in such a way that the mother could be harmed or face a medical situation that could be serious, we would actually be advocates of going to the hospital, getting a doctor who chooses to do no harm to any human being, and will treat the preborn child as a patient and the mother as a patient. And in the event that the baby dies, would humanely remove the baby's body. But in the event that they continue to develop, continue to monitor them with a watchful eye, use whatever medical technology you can and is necessary, and if you can get the baby to the point where you can perform a C-section, that is certainly preferable than to just predicting they're going to be a situation and kill them. Problem is, in our culture, so many people have been encouraged to just take that route.
Yep.
And kill babies before there is even any possible dangerous situation. Now, people like us who believe in God and the providence of God and thou shalt not murder and all that kind of stuff have actually done what I'm saying and like not elected to have their child terminated in an ectopic pregnancy and carried their babies to term. And that is a stat that you can see, you can look that up, that actually happens. There's also been instances where people have done everything they can to move a baby who's in a very terrible situation. That kind of technology would be something that would be developed in a culture that actually treated preborn human beings like actual human beings with value and dignity. And in those situations, instead of just murdering them, we would move them or assist them in whatever way we could. The other thing that Nathan was going to bring up, I'll let you do the Dublin stuff.
Actually, I'd rather you take that.
Oh, well, I was just going to say, you know, sometimes you'll see people just say, you know what, this is never necessary. You can quote doctors who've delivered thousands and thousands of babies, and they'll say, I've never even seen that. I've never seen or heard of or read about any situation where it really was medically necessary to kill the child before they had passed on naturally. And, you know, entire, you know, countries have basically made that claim. Like I believe Ireland has made, you know, like we've never seen that happen in our state. How are you doing? But it is true that in a fallen world where we have fallen biology, reproductive, you know, situations can go amiss, and that there are babies that are in situations where they will die and they will actually be an endangerment to their mothers. That is removing a dead child. That's not murdering a child. Like removing the body of a baby that's passed so that she does not get an infection or die or something like that is not abortion. So you've got to be really picky with what you're saying. You don't need to deny that, you know, there are these situations, but you do need to say that these situations are extremely, extremely rare. And secondly, back to where I started, in the whole street thing, when people are bringing up what about the life of the mother, either on the street or at the capitals with legislation or something like that, I think the first thing you need to ask them is real quick, do you think that the only time it's okay to perform an abortion is when you have like a baby that is to the size that they're rupturing a fallopian tube or something like that? Or are you just bringing this up? Because it is a match. Hey, how are y'all doing?
What do you think?
It's pretty intense. We're not trying to ruin your night, but we are trying to say that, you know, women are not sex objects. Babies are not body parts. We got to treat all human beings as valuable, precious, made in the image of God, worth our protection, love. What do you think? This can be a confusing sign. Do you agree that this?
I don't have an opinion on that.
You don't have taking a pill to terminate a baby is murder with malice aforethought. It's pretty intense, right? It's like someone's like, I'm with child. I don't want to be with child. You don't have to. You can just walk away, but you don't have to. Yeah. But you know, if you stuck around, you'd find that we can just talk about these things quite reasonably. Thank you for the middle finger. First one of the night. How long have we been
there
here?
you go. Big name.
It's been forever since I've seen a middle finger.
Yeah.
Hey
It's kind
guys,
of crazy that we haven't.
that lady flipped me off. I guess the people have spoken. We gotta go.
We gotta go. Yep.
What do you think? You're reading it. You agree? We got the whole group agreeing? They make you agree with our signs or disagree before you go on the water taxi. We're gonna cut down on their business.
Yeah. Whoopsies.
Just go stand in the line for purchasing things.
All right. I'm sure I missed some. Questions.
I was answering a question and then I stopped because there was a
I would just say-
large group of women.
I don't know if you mentioned this, but just we should also mention that like 9 times out of 10, like 99% of the time, an ectopic pregnancy, like the child has died by the time it becomes
Detected, yeah.
Yeah, so like removing a miscarriage from a fallopian tube, that's not abortion by our definition.
Even if somebody says, oh, definitionally that is an abortion, it's like, no. Well, that's what I'm saying. You have to ask people, what are you arguing for?
Yeah.
Oh, that's what I was saying when they came up. Like, it is the worst form of like appropriation when some woman who wants to murder her child because she's covering up like an affair or just she can't be bothered to like love the baby that's in her womb and believes abortion's okay in any reason, uses some other mother's awful loss in an ectopic pregnancy to justify what she's doing. You know, somebody over here lost a baby that they would have never in a million years murdered, and they had to like go into the emergency room because the baby needed to be removed because of an infection or bleeding or whatever, and then and that not killed and removed because the baby was dead, and then someone over here is like wanting to get an abortion for any reason imaginable, and they're going to argue for what they're doing from that mother's loss. It's absolutely horrific, that line of thinking. It's wicked. Do you think that YouTube and TikTok or whoever we're streaming this for is going to get mad if I start dancing to the Miley Cyrus song? Because I'm not going to. I just, it's like
Pride Month ends tomorrow. Say Pride Month ends tomorrow.
Pride Month ends tomorrow. That would be totally.
Gotta get it out now, right?
Yeah. If you're gonna do anything gay, this is the month.
Yep.
Okay, I said it. Now YouTube's like, get out.
I appreciate you guys for subscribing, man. What about birth control, Russell? What about birth control?
Birth control?
Yeah.
Well, you know the number one form of birth control. What?
I almost wonder. They're asking you to dance. Don't do it. I'm wondering if we should get Molly to talk about birth control, but I don't know.
Molly yeah, I've been talking a lot. Molly, you want to talk about birth control?
Yeah, Molly's big on birth control.
No, Molly's not big on birth control.
No, she's big on. Okay, never mind.
Hey, Molly, you're big on birth control. You can talk about. Yeah, you can say. Yeah, I'll try to talk to people as they walk by, and you can.
Is there a specific question or just kind of like...
Just the question was, what about birth control?
So, birth control, whether it's the IUD
You want to face this way? I'm actually here.
or hormonal, I mean it's all hormonal, but whether it's the IUD or pill, it actually has 3 mechanisms of so-called preventing. The first one is actually preventing ovulation. The second one is thickening the cervix mucus so that the egg and sperm cannot meet. But then when
Save the humans, right?
Yep.
Hey, well, check this out.
DNA, that's when life begins.
Save the humans.
Yeah.
What is that from?
It's from the
It
when I
flushes.
went to church under the bridge.
We're on the same page.
Church Under the Bridge. Where's it? Is that like in Waco?
It's on 4th and Virginia.
Oh, yeah.
It'd be served every Sunday or so.
Okay. Well, here, check this out. This is we're trying to save these humans, little image bearers in the womb. You know, they're still being murdered every minute of every day in the United States of America. So I see, like, the aliens want to save the humans. Yeah, man, keep that. Hey, you know what? You said you're a Christian?
Not necessarily.
Not
Christian.
necessarily,
I just
but-
go to church just to because I go with people. They
Yeah.
basically have me go because I don't have any other option. I don't like to argue with people. But
Yeah, no, you don't have to. You don't. I mean, that's cool.
this is
I mean,
how I usually dress. But when I go to church under the bridge or something like that, I dress different.
Well, you can dress like that at church. Church is just the body of Christ. It's just the people who like follow Christ and, you know, recognize Him as Lord. Church isn't a brick and mortar place. I mean, yes, you can meet at church and hear preaching and teaching and sing songs, but yeah, God doesn't care. He doesn't want you to be stressed out about what you're wearing when you go here preaching.
Yeah.
But anyway, yeah, take that, read that, and you know.
Yeah, I came down here to check up on my jobs and everything. I'm currently
Your
filling
jobs?
out. I already filled out an application at Brickopolis. Filled out an application for the green team down here.
Yeah,
So I
That's
like
cool.
walking. I just walked all the way down here from Northeast 12th and Lottie.
I don't even know how far away that is. Is that like miles?
For me, it's about not even a 30-minute walk. But
Man.
for average people, if they don't know how to walk fast or anything, they have to take the time. It will take
Yeah.
about 45 minutes to an hour.
Well, sounds like you don't need a car, but getting a job will help you get a car as well.
And I mean, also, if I get the green team job, I'll be walking around here constantly. So
What is Green Team?
it's basically where they go around Bricktown and downtown area and pick up a lot of trash, and
Oh, okay.
it's just basically
Cool. Yeah,
cleaning
it's-
the society and all that.
Yeah, it's pretty clean. Well, I don't want to stop you from your job, but you know, I hope that fits in your pocket and give it a read and stuff.
Yeah. I've been
I,
hearing people say that abortion should be illegal and all that, and I'm like, no, I want me a kid. Come on now.
what's that?
I want me a kid.
You won't be a kid, or?
No, I said I want me a kid.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's like the problem is that our culture and society actually has a view of children that extremely devalues them across the board. And the one place where parents can kill their kids with the protection of the law is in the womb. And right now in Oklahoma, you just get on the internet, search how do I get an abortion, get the pills shipped to you, and murder that baby in the first 12 weeks of their lives. So
I thought they already legalized it to where it wasn't going to be illegal to get abortions.
yeah, what they did is they shut down like freestanding places where you go take your, you know, but those are, you go to those and people can preach to you and try to help you and stop you and all that kind of stuff. Now it's just from the comfort of your own home.
Yeah.
You know, just drive into Wichita a few hours, you know. So it's laws can do what they can, but until we get our culture to like actually recognize the value of all human beings as all human beings equally made in the image of God, equally going to be protected by our laws, you know, people will just find more and more ways to murder their children. So anyway, what's your name, man?
I go by DJ.
DJ, I'm Russell. Thanks for stopping and talking a bit.
No problem.
Yeah. Have a good night. Good luck with the job.
This thing that y'all doing right here is good.
Yeah. Well, thanks, brother.
I support y'all.
Yeah. Good. Hope to see you sometime again. You know, I just thought about how if you guys were answering a question about birth control and I started talking to that guy.
We muted ourselves.
Oh, okay. Well, I mean that guy was nice, but I didn't want to stop your in the middle of everything.
Okay. Are we back on, Sam?
Can I stand between y'all again?
Yeah, you would like. So you were saying, last thing you said was that there's a third method of action with all chemical birth controls that thins the lining of the endometrium.
Yes.
So do you know, like,
Yeah, so, we're against any medicine that would put the lives of preborn children at risk. And hormonal birth control, all of it has that tertiary mechanism. And There's even a medical journal that I read one time talking about levonorgestrel, which is.
What do you think? You want here? Give me a thumbs up. I'll trade it for a piece of lit.
They got one.
Yeah, you know. Yeah.
It's live, folks. It's
Pretty
live.
intense, right? I mean, it's just a drawing, but that's an accurate depiction on what happens when you put poisons in your body that'll fry a child. Very good.
Creation mandate. Let's go.
Takes all types.
Yeah, and I'll just jump in here.
That baby is going to come out tatted.
I was going to say about that
That's Lamarckian.
medical journal, though, this study that was done on it showed that around 80% of the time, that tertiary mechanism is actually what's being used to so-called prevent the pregnancy. But
Yep.
yeah, conclusion,
Yep.
birth control is.
And you can find the citation for that on rescuethose.com, but it's like an NIH published journal. And yeah, the levonorgestrel is one of the most popular forms of chemical birth control right now. And that study says 80% of the time, the third method of action is the one that's being used. And I'll just say, we're not trying to be callous. Like, we understand that people don't know this. Like, my wife and I were on birth control whenever we first got married. And we went through like premarital counseling with churches, or at our church, and we weren't told. Like, many pastors aren't even aware that this is happening. And yeah, I plead with you to look into it yourself. If you're on birth control, man, I think you're bound at this point to just look into it and realize that there is a very serious and active abortive method within all chemical birth controls. Like, there's no exception as far as I know. Any birth control that's chemical has an abortifacient function.
Including the IUDs.
Yeah, IUDs, Nexapron, like the injections. I'm all of a sudden blanking on all of them, but there's like 5 or 6 different popular chemical methods. Patches, yeah, they all do the same thing. And you can literally read the slips and they'll say that. So if you believe that life begins at conception, and I think pro-lifers, all abolitionists should, but even all pro-lifers will say that they believe that life begins at conception. If you truly believe that, then you can't be a part of any sort of method to stop birth that keeps a human being from having the nutrients it needs to survive, and that's what birth controls do.
Conception/fertilization, just to be clear, because the medical industry, I think was it in the 70s? I can't remember if it was the 60s or the 70s.
How are you guys?
They actually changed the official definition of conception. Is it talking?
No, we're good.
They changed the official definition of conception
You move over a little bit. Yeah.
from fertilization to implantation.
What do you think?
And that was literally as birth control was becoming popularized, literally as like an incentive to deceive people who wouldn't ever want to risk killing their newly conceived baby. So they can legally say
It's not
it
abortion.
prevents conception as long as they abide by the definition of conception as implantation.
There's a picture of a murdered child in there. Just warning you.
So
So yeah, thank you.
You open
Thank you,
it
Molly.
up. There's some kids and whatnot.
stand over here now.
Live show, folks.
Man, I had so many good conversations over there that I chose not to have, so she can answer that question.
I'm so sorry, Russell.
Just kidding. Just kidding. My wife's on birth control.
That's a joke. He's joking.
I mean, she's breastfeeding a newborn baby, which pretty much keeps you.
Anyways,
It's a form.
all right. I haven't been watching the chat, so give me a second to. try to see
Yeah,
if there's
so
any
someone's
questions.
like, man, whatever, they edit those. That guy, Russell, he makes all sorts of not so funny jokes, and they only put up reels of the funny ones. It's true. How are y'all? Pretty good, pretty good. y'all doing? Looking for a good question?
1 second. My ex-girlfriend told me she took birth control to help control her hormones. Was she lying? She's probably just not educated on the truth of it, because my wife took birth control for the same reasons and I didn't know. So I would just say there's lots of misinformation about this. And we'll get on to other topics, but I just wanted to answer
and doctors will actually say that.
Yeah.
But the problem is one, I'm gonna be that old curmudgeonly white guy and say, well, you and your girlfriend shouldn't be doing the thing that produces babies unless you want to do that. If you want to do that together, that means you love her enough to marry her.
Yeah.
But look at me, you know. But if you're talking about, no, she's taking this birth control and it is, she's doing it for hormones or for skin or something, doctors will do that. The problem is do you want to start putting something into your body that's going to make your body basically a death trap for children? Like Nathan, I'll just say that before I was an abolitionist, back in the day after my wife and I got married, we've been married for a lot longer, but 15, 16 years ago, my wife was also, I guess now 20 years, also on the pill when we first got married, and we hadn't thought about it, and we went to a Baptist church where they basically kind of taught, no, this is fine, this is good, and I was pursuing like, I was in grad school, and the idea we were thinking is like, well, let's like not have babies now. Let's wait till I have my PhD, then we'll start having babies and that sort of thing. And eventually we came to understand that birth control was just a very, not only is it abortifacient, it also does things to the woman's body and messes things up to the point where even now, 20 years later, we've had 2 miscarriages, nowhere near when we were taking birth control, but we had 2 miscarriages in the past 10 years. And, my wife, having studied what birth control does to your body and messes up your hormones and stuff, she has to deal with thinking, whether those thoughts are wrong or right. She has to deal with thinking, did I do something to my body that increased the likelihood of miscarriages? Because there are studies out there that lean in that direction. And so, yeah, just anything that you're taking that's messing with hormones in your body is something to study a whole lot before you're putting anything like that into your body. Because you might get right and say, hey, you know what, you might become sexually active, married, and say we're not taking birth control, but you may have done some damage to your system. So anyway, a lot of that's just personal story, but it is very important to not just watch a YouTube channel and hear us talk about it, or hear people say the opposite. No, those birth control's fine, doesn't do anything to you. You need to look at these things deeply. Yeah. You're talking about putting something in your body that could lead to the death of your children. Yeah. Take the right kind of precautions, and even any kind of drug, you should know what it does to your body. Body's a temple of God. He gave us this thing. He designed it really well. There are times whenever we probably need to use modern medicine, but don't use modern medicine without looking into what it is that you're ingesting. So that's just me. We're going to get off on some other topic, and then I rant about it for another 5 minutes. Someone's shooting at us.
Yeah, I hope that was an engine. Jeez, that was loud. That was a really loud backfire. Maybe it's a firework.
I think it was a backfire.
Yeah.
What do you guys think? Women are not sex objects. Babies are not body parts. Can't dehumanize and destroy human beings. They're made in the image of God. How are you?
Yeah. Don't be fooled. Lots of these guys are having really good conversations.
Yeah. People are blowing me off because, I'm not really paying attention to them much.
He's just awkwardly talking towards this void right here. And everyone's like, okay, that guy's
when
weird.
people walk by and they see me talking to you guys on YouTube, that I'm not the most approachable person.
Oh, you just got hit with a wave of weed.
Yeah, we're about to get high up in here. Yeah. Secondhand high.
How you doing?
I will say this, like, I don't know if we're waiting on a question, but I'll say this about generally doing this. While doing this, you'll see that sometimes we wait for people to approach. Sometimes I'll say a little bit to them while they're going by, but you couldn't see this because you could see the back of their heads, but there was a couple that walked through, and I looked at both of their eyes, and the guy looked at it kind of like, I agree, and the girl was like a date. She kind of like straightened up and kind of walked on by, and he noticed it, and he was kind of like, you know, I don't know what's going to happen there, but I do know that say they're going to have dinner or do whatever they're going to do, that is very likely if one of them is for abortion, one of them is against abortion, it might come up.
Bam.
How you doing, brother?
Take a picture of this, okay?
Hey, you know what?
Spread it around.
You can take a picture. Here, let me do you on better. I'll go ahead and take a picture.
We live on the southern Texas border, about 150 miles, so we know what the hell is going on. It's
Here,
terrible.
I'll give you a small version of it there.
Can I have these?
Yeah. Here, you know what?
Appreciate
If
it.
you like that much, I'll give you more than just, you know.
All right, I'll spread them around.
Yeah.
I won't waste them. Thank
Sweet.
you guys out here.
Yeah.
You do good work.
Appreciate
Thank
it.
you. Yeah, I
Have a
hope
good
you
night.
guys have a great night.
Just real quickly, someone keeps asking if it's okay to have your tubes tied. I don't think any of us would be for trying to ban that, or vasectomies, or condoms,
Yeah.
or natural family planning. Natural family planning is where you time everything. All that's totally fine. We're just not okay with humans being destroyed.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely something you need to look in, think about, talk to your husband and wife with, but it's not the same type deal. Like, nothing of what we're doing is about controlling people's choice to reproduce. Nothing when we're out here doing is about like controlling people. It's about protecting human beings who are there from being murdered. So someone who gets a vasectomy, for instance, is someone who's not murdering a child. They may be doing something that people can debate right or wrong on, but that's the vasectomy question is actually a good way to think about it. It's like, no, we're not trying to control people. How's it going, man?
Keep it up, man.
hey, appreciate
Sweet.
it.
I'm just talking off into the void here. You're like walking out and it's like, hey, what's this guy doing? I'm talking to people on the interweb. Yeah.
You guys are doing great.
Hey, well,
appreciate it.
here, you can help us out.
Yeah?
You want to do great yourself? Here you go. I'll give you some of these. That's this sign. It just basically has this sign, and then on the back, it's got some, material about.
The design is awesome too.
Oh, good.
Can I give you this too? Oh, so good.
That's a little more in depth.
Are you
What we
pro-life?
believe and why, and we're
Yeah.
abolitionists of abortion. That'll take you through the difference between pro-lifers and abolitionists. You may be an abolitionist. It just means we believe that abortion's murder and should be treated like murder and actually criminalized. Just like the laws protecting him from whenever he messes up and you want to kill him, you can't because it's against the law.
But that's real unfortunate, isn't it, Dad?
I gotta open a young's mind earlier.
Yeah, hey,
Train them young.
yeah, raise them up right.
Field full of crap at school.
Yeah, yeah. Well, that's where they do all the crap filling is at school.
Yeah.
I try to make sure when he comes home, I make sure whatever he's saying, and I'm like, nah, dude.
Comes home, he's like, okay, what is it today? Let's go through the propaganda.
Half the time, I'm like, you've been watching Fox News with Pops? Because half the time, some of the stuff he says, I'm like, dude, okay, cool, whatever. I don't even have to,
Yeah.
to get on you about some of that stuff.
Hey, I don't want to say anything too positive about our culture because it's still kind of, extremely jacked up. But there are some things that seem a little turning out there. Like
Well-
just a little bit. Things are somewhat, you like looking and you're like, how in the world do we not know what a man and a woman is anymore? But then you kind of like, but also if you get online and you like just get on TikTok or YouTube and you look at the shorts, there are tons of shorts where people are just like, no, this is stupid. We're not doing this anymore.
It just doesn't make the
Yeah.
media as much as I'm
It
saying.
doesn't make it's not part of the overall narrative that they want to play, but through YouTube and that sort of stuff, it's still out there. So the important thing is find that stuff, watch that stuff, like
Yeah.
it, share it,
So that way it shows up on the, what is it called?
Algorithm.
the algorithm. Yeah, help the algorithms. It also tells YouTube, like, listen, we're not going to shut down these more conservative or Christian voices, because those people are watching and paying for ads and stuff too.
Yeah.
So they're not going to limit, like our YouTube channel is Abolitionist Rising, and you know, they're not limiting us. They're letting our stuff kind of pretty freely reign. So I think it seems better now than it did maybe 2 years ago. 2 years ago, I thought God should just bomb the country and we should start over.
I follow a lot of history, so I'm into like the Roman Empire right now.
Oh,
So
yeah.
every time I thought that our country's really screwed up right now, I was listening about the Romans and reading about the Romans. And I'm like, oh gosh, we seem
Yeah.
a lot better off, because they always say it's like the next generation is always worse and worse. And I'm like, well, dang it, I think we're doing way
Yeah,
better.
it's
than
like, I
most
don't
of this
know.
stuff. Yeah.
Like Christian, they may ban you on Facebook, but they don't burn your body in the middle of a gladiator game.
Yeah.
Like Nero did to the Christians in Rome or whatever, you know. So anyway,
Guys, we'll keep it up.
yeah, hey,
Y'all have a
we
good
shall
night.
do it. Speak up, speak often.
Working on brightening up the footage. It's starting to get dark, so
Oh, okay, right.
be patient.
And I don't know how long we're going to do this, but we do. Are people watching it?
Oh yeah.
Oh, we're doing this till we hit 100K? I hope my wife's not
I don't know.
watching. She's looking and she's like, you're doing this till you hit 100K? And she's doing the math and she's like, that's midnight.
Y'all need to help us out. Russell is going to be out here until we hit 100K. We will all leave, but Russell will be out here until 100K. So y'all need to
Yeah.
share this.
Anyone who's watching this, if you haven't subscribed, what's wrong with you? Sorry, that's not nice. Log into your wife's account and subscribe for her,
Yeah, there you go.
or vice versa.
All those burner accounts that you made for PewDiePie back in the day. that
Oh,
just
do
didn't
you
know
have
what I'm
people
talking
do
about. Yeah.
I didn't. Coyote Ugly? It's that way. That way? Yes. Well, I mean, it's
I think
still,
it's
you might
actually
still
on the
want that.
river.
It's like a block and a block.
Actually, I think it's on the river right there.
Really?
I'm pretty sure, yeah.
Hey, do you have one of those things in your pocket? Those supercomputers? just type in Coyote Ugly. Oh yeah. It'll take you right there.
He is mean. I knew he was mean.
See, you've
I
heard
knew
about
it.
how I'm mean. I'm just
Yeah.
mean to that guy. You say like, that's rude. It's like, no, what's rude is he asked me instead of his Google.
Yeah. I'm sorry I missed a lot of your questions, so ask them again if you want them answered.
We're right back.
If there are tons of questions, we'll take the questions that come with donations. Just kidding.
Do you have to tell people if they're being filmed? No, there is no reasonable right to privacy in a public place. So you're walking, I mean, you're getting filmed by how many cameras? You know, we don't have to ask.
Yeah, if somebody says, hey, I don't want to be filmed, we'll just say, hey, well, we have to film. If you don't want to be filmed, don't stand in front of cameras. And if they do say something like, well, I want to talk to you, but I don't want to be filmed, you know, you could do that. We could step aside and do that. But if the subsequent question is why do you film other than producing content, the main reason probably is producing content. We reach more people who watch the videos of the interactions than, you know, standing out here. Like, some of these videos get 1 million views. I will not talk to 1 million people on the street in my life. I don't think doesn't seem mathematically possible. So it is very important that we film. The other reason is if we're not filming, I've noticed this. I've done this sort of thing off and on in various ways and shapes for 15 years. And if you do not film, people will lie about what you're doing. Like, they will say that you're out here yelling and cussing and screaming and being vulgar. They'll say that you're jumping out in front of traffic. They'll say that you're, forcing people to talk and all this kind of stuff. So if you film, you can say, no, we have the footage. Look at the footage. We didn't do any of those stuff. Sometimes you have to show police and stuff like that.
Dude, hey, thank you so much, Timothy. You sent us $100. Buy your wife some flowers and chocolate if you're going to be out that long. Love what you do. Keep doing what you're doing.
See, now, if
Thanks,
my wife's
Timothy.
watching it, she's going to be like, where's my flowers and chocolate, Timothy?
My $100 flowers and chocolate. I saw that super chat. Thanks,
I
Timothy.
don't think my wife's
Appreciate
ever
it.
got $100 worth of chocolate and
Yeah,
flour.
with all these super chats, you might be able to afford water.
Yeah, if I brought my wife $100 worth of flowers and chocolate, she'd be mad at me. She'd be like, "You spent $100 on flowers, chocolate?"
Yeah, that wouldn't go well, would it?
That was half a week's groceries. 4 kids.
Hey, by the way, everyone knows your name and no one knows my name.
Oh yeah.
I'm Nathan Weiser.
Nathan Weiser. So Nathan is the guy who does a lot of the editing on the long form videos. So videos like the Wichita State video, the Persons Not Properties,
Yeah.
My Body, My Choice videos.
Abortion is still legal in all 50 states.
Yeah, so like the videos that are sometimes they're not even interactions, but they're sort of like message videos, topical content. Nathan does a lot of writing and editing for those.
And Sam does the majority. Like right now, because I'm off on another project, everything has been done by Sam, and he's killing it. He's behind the camera right now because he's afraid of leaving the camera. But yeah, Sam's awesome.
Yeah, Sam's on the other side of the camera. And he's really good at doing this sort of thing with people, but he's also really good at filming, so.
And shameless plug, if you don't understand what abolitionism is, I directed a documentary called A Storm Comes Rolling Down the Plain. It's free on YouTube right now. You look it up, A Storm Comes Rolling Down the Plain. That will, I think, do a fantastic, how you doing? I think that'll do a fantastic job of introducing you to the ideology of abolitionism, or the doctrine of abolitionism.
And you said that was free to watch on YouTube?
Yes, it is.
Storm Comes Rolling Down the Plain. And
Storm Comes Rolling Down the Plain.
Nathan is working on a...
No?
No, he's not.
Yeah, I'm on another project. Can't talk
On
about it.
another project.
I cannot talk about it.
He's trying to be Elon Musk to Mars. Nathan, genius.
I will get sued if I talk about it, so.
So you got to tell me
I was
this
about
poor guy
to punch you in the face, man.
I'm working on another project too. See, look, I just leveled the playing field there.
Do you have a Patreon or subscription content? Not yet, but you can donate to Abolitionist Rising at abolitionistrising.com.
Since there have been some donations, I'll tell you this. So right now, we do exist. We pay our bills and do what we do primarily on donations. But we're not one of those groups that just constantly asks for donations. We don't constantly email you, give us money, we need this money, you give us this many dollars, this many babies. We'll say we don't do that. We believe that if we just go and do what we're doing, do it well, do it unto the Lord, and people see the value of it, and God blesses them, He can encourage them to give without us sort of browbeating them for it. Nothing wrong with asking for funds, nothing wrong with that at all. But we don't do that a lot, but a lot of people don't know that, yes, we are a 501c3, we're a nonprofit. We don't pay ourselves super well. We'd love to pay ourselves better and hire more people, but we're basically just doing this because it needs to be done. And, praise God, He seen fit to provide us with just enough funding so that we can. No, I'm talking to I was talking to that camera guy over there. You can talk to the camera guy too.
I'm not going to say.
Well, what do you think about abortion?
Well, I think it's a woman's right.
A woman's right to do what?
To abort.
Abort what?
Abort a kid that's not wanted or to be raised in a bad environment.
So if I repeat that back to you, it's a woman's right to abort a kid that's unwanted, or it could be raised in a bad environment. So you can just abort kids if you don't want them?
No, if bad environment.
Well, that's what you said. You said the reason that abortion is okay is if a kid's unwanted and they're in a bad environment, which is a lot of kids.
Yeah.
So murdering children because they're unwanted.
What if they have a disease?
Murdering people who have diseases? Is that what you're for?
Well, we're not going to win this. Yeah, no.
No, it's not winnable because human beings are valuable, they have rights, we ought to love and protect them and do everything we can to be equal towards everybody, and that includes human beings from the moment they're there. So, anyway, have a good night.
Have a good night,
Thanks
man.
for stopping and talking to us.
What do you think?
Did you say, what do you think?
Yeah.
Do you think? I thought you said, do you think? I heard, do you think? What do you think?
I would never be that mean on a live stream.
Yeah, that's right, live stream. But anyway, that was interesting. See, that I will say this before going back to what I was saying about the donation thing. That was an instance where a guy was willing to talk, started to talk, said what cultures program him to say, abortion is a woman's right, but then with just asking a few clarifying questions, he found himself incapable of defending what he said, or even understanding why what he said didn't work. And then eventually the lady that was with him, who obviously was not yelling, abortion's a woman's right, it was the man and the woman there, she was kind of like, we're not going to win this one, we got to go. And she wanted him to stop having the conversation because she knew there's no good arguments for abortion.
David Sims asks, speaking of documentaries, when is the Tubman documentary coming out?
Yeah, that's a good one.
Yeah, I'll message you
Zinger,
later.
someone donate money to David Sims because he got you on that.
Yeah.
So we did do a project called Tubman 20. We did basically complete it. It was almost done. And then we got really busy doing things like starting Abolitionist Rising and other things. And it never got fully produced because just time, energy, and funds had to go somewhere else. But it was close and it could still come out.
Yeah, I was thinking about it. It might come out soon. Soon with a trademark next to it. It can be released at some point. Just would need to be reformatted because it was a pre-Roe documentary, so it needs to be reformatted. But
yeah, that's true.
So
And we'll have another project like that in the future too, and that one will probably come out before the Tubman 20.
Yeah. Jacob Upperby, $50. Thank you so much, dude. Thank you guys for standing up for the truth in these wicked times. Thank you even more for standing up for these little ones in the womb. God bless you, ministry. Thank you so much, Jacob. Keep praying for us. Keep praying that God would raise up people to be the church in a dark world. Hey, lights.
Yep. Hey,
That
and
light would...
you said in a dark world and the light came on.
that was awesome.
Providence. Now, I will say this, Jacob, because this is extremely helpful. Like, donations are extremely helpful because we have plenty of needs. But it's also just helpful being on these chats, liking stuff, watching stuff, sharing stuff, commenting. All very helpful because, just to finish what I was saying about donations, we do exist on donations. That's what's keeping our lights on. We have an office.
That's a good question.
We put a lot of time and energy into things, and you know, you're taking care of us. So thank you.
Here's a pro-abort question. This is a good question. I'll just show it to you, see if you are comfortable with answering that.
Which one is it?
The green one.
The green one.
Yeah.
Right there.
Yeah.
Oh, it disappeared right as. So
shoot.
doesn't really matter what someone thinks is moral.
No, not that one. Where the heck? This one over there.
So different question then. Are you in favor of big or small government? I mean, a government that can force people to stay pregnant. It's pretty huge, no? Well, I'm a pretty big fan of small government and governments not forcing people to do things except for a very few things. I think the government exists to, especially if they made a social contract with their people to protect their rights to property, life, and the pursuit of happiness. The government, therefore, should exist to curtail, prohibit stealing, theft. The government shouldn't steal, but they should stop people from stealing. And the government should stop people from killing. The Word of God says very clearly that God instituted government to bear the sword of justice against wicked doers. So that would be protect image bearers, essentially. The very first line of government that we know in human history is whenever God told Noah, hey, we've reset this thing, but stop killing one another. If man kills other people, they're made in the image of God, by man his blood shall be shed. So this was sort of like instituting a rule saying, hey, you are to have societies that do not murder. So getting to your question, am I for a government forcing people to stay pregnant? That is I don't know, you may not be intending it, but that's a pretty poor way to ask the question. I'm for a government that stops people from unaliving other human beings. So when you're pregnant, just naturally, of course, your baby will develop and be born, or they will die naturally. Abortion is whenever you unnaturally take the life of the child that's inside your womb. So the government isn't forcing you to be pregnant or forcing you not to be pregnant. The government is saying, in the event that you're pregnant, human beings here are going to have rights, and we're going to uphold the right to life, which is what the nation was, one of the principles that the nation was founded upon. What's up, James?
Yeah.
This is James Silverman.
You may need to get closer, James. If you're wanting to say something, you might need to get closer.
James Silverman, you've seen him in some videos and such. He ends up doing some of the editing work on YouTube videos, but his primary role is he's sort of like he's the journalist. He writes all the copy and the edit and the commentary. And if you're following us not just on YouTube or TikTok, if you're following us on Twitter,
what do you think?
Or Instagram or Facebook,
what do you think of our signs?
James is writing that material.
You love it?
Forgiveness. I have 5 kids. Love it.
Yeah.
Love it?
I don't know what
Well, then
You don't know what he means.
I'm kind of dumb.
you're not dumb.
Yeah, kind of.
You're smarter than
Thank you.
all these people that don't even stop and talk to us. I mean, you already made one good decision. So
I like that one.
what do you? So women are not sex objects, right?
I don't know. I'm just kidding.
So the idea that like women are out there and you can treat them like property and just do whatever you want, like rape, right? Yeah. Wrong, right?
Wrong.
Why is rape wrong?
Not consensual. Yeah.
It's not consensual. It's because one person is using their body against another person and violating their body, and it's usually like a violent, wicked act, right?
Yeah.
So that's why rape's wrong. So the second proposition is babies are not body parts. You agree with that?
What does that mean?
So like, whenever you were in your mother's womb, right? Back before you were born, when you were a preborn human being, a fetus or an embryo, right? When you were in your mother's body, were you your mother's body or were you inside your mother's body?
Inside.
Inside.
The mom, and the mom was crazy.
Yeah, so the mom was alive, she was a person, and then the baby's inside. So babies are not body parts, right? So like, if you wanted to say, like, have your appendix removed or whatever, you could do that because that's your body part. But if you had a baby inside your womb and you wanted to remove them from the one place they were able to live and killed them, what would that be?
An abortion.
Our culture calls it an abortion, but it's murder.
Yeah.
Because that little baby inside that womb is not a body part. And so rape, the reason that rape was wrong is because it's one person doing something to another person against their will to harm them and violate them. Abortion is wrong because it's one person doing something to another person that's violent and will harm them.
Have you had anyone scream at you because of this?
No one ever screams at us because of this.
No one's ever mad.
I've seen videos.
I've been seeing TikTok videos about it.
Oh, yeah? Yeah, no, some people scream. Some people are really nice and chill like y'all and actually stop and talk and think. Yep, from time to time.
What's y'all's TikTok name?
Abolitionists Rising. Do you want to be on YouTube right now?
YouTube.
Are you on YouTube?
Yeah, I watch like.
It's a trick question.
Prank videos and stuff.
Hey, here's a trick question. Are you on YouTube? Yes, you are on YouTube right there.
Yeah.
You see that camera right there? You're on YouTube right now.
Okay.
If you don't consent to YouTube, go over there.
Yeah.
It's probably the side of you. You're probably good.
Say hi.
Yeah, you can say hi.
What up, Jay? What up?
Just don't say anything crazy.
Follow my Insta.
I say all the crazy stuff on this channel. So.
That's what the camera was for. I saw it earlier when we put up the story.
If you've seen it on TikTok, you may have seen us or someone else who does something like this. But if you go to Abolitionists Rising, here, let me help you out because that's a mouthful.
It's right there,
Here,
guys.
now it's right there in your hand.
All right, thank you.
You're welcome.
Yeah, well, this is different, but you know, you can find us.
Thank you.
But yeah, if you go to Abolitionist Rising, this, we don't usually stream live, but this is being streamed live. Just in case you're one of those people who yell at us.
Y'all got a lot of subscribers and stuff?
We're trying to get to
Yeah.
Thank you, James.
Yeah. Hey, you know what? We do have some subscribers. We're actually trying to reach 100,000 right now, tonight.
Yeah, get there.
Well, you can help us out. What are we at?
98,492.
98,492. You better go jump on there. And I can't go home
until you
I'm gonna be out
100K.
here, and it's gonna be like tumbleweeds are going by, and I'm gonna be like, can you subscribe?
Oh, there you go.
My grandma.
Nice.
Hey, you should message. Hold on a second. All right, just so you have this. Oh, I have two more. So here, you can have one. And so that's this same thing.
I will even download TikTok on my phone.
Yeah. Oh, don't download TikTok on your mom's phone. You're gonna get yourself grounded. Have you ever seen what's on TikTok?
The stuff on TikTok is crazy.
Yeah, TikTok's a different world. Hey, but we're on TikTok and it's fine. You know, you got crazy stuff on one side and crazy stuff on the other, and praise God for the communist Chinese, and they just let us all just do what we're doing.
They got $2 money.
All right, thank you for that talk.
Hey,
Hey, appreciate it.
Hey, thanks.
Thank you.
You want you want one?
You should give me some.
You can have it? Is it multiple?
No.
I mean, you put it like that. I mean, if you're the 100,000th subscriber, just contact me. I'll get you a sign. I'll get you a sign. But you have to follow it down. You have to like find us, say, hey, here's the deal. I was out there. You said this whole rape, abortion, body part, all that kind of stuff, and I did follow you. Prove that you follow me. I'll get you a sign.
All right. How much does it cost?
To make probably $30, $40 or something. But you know, if you just want to hang it on your wall, it's a sticker. You can just,
a sticker?
yeah, it's a sticker on a piece of
Chloroplast.
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 That's what costs money right there.
Well, that's not green.
Probably so.
Yeah.
But you could just put it like
Like that with the chloroplast.
yeah. If you ever want to do this, seriously, it's good. Raise awareness.
Yeah.
Talk to people.
Enjoy your night, guys. Thanks for talking to us.
All right.
Bye.
See you on the internet. Say bye to all your YouTube fans.
I was just gonna say before they came over, my wife's very pregnant and it's kind of hot, so we're taking off.
All right.
But there's these things called drop cards. They're super easy. I grabbed a bunch. I'm gonna put them on cars on the way out. So on the driver's side window.
Good.
100 cars between there and our lot. Get them at store.abolitionistrising.com. And I know like what we do videos like encouraging you guys to do the same thing, get signs, get quad folds, all that stuff, and to do this sort of thing. And a good easy way to kind of ease your way into it if this is kind of intimidating for you is drop cards, drop them wherever. Get the word out that way.
Yeah. You guys, let me have one of them. I don't know if you can see this, but on all the doors are underneath the windshield wipers, and it just, you know, God uses it. It's a seed, plant it somewhere, and
we have
hopefully.
abolitionists who we
James, it looks
are
like it's
engaged
buffering.
today and are in contact with who came into the movement because they.
Some people might find even that intimidating, but it's a good place to start.
Yeah.
You know, you can wear a shirt, you can drop cards. You don't have to start with signs on the street, but you should start somewhere. In fact, that you're on here watching and liking and sharing and commenting, you've already started somewhere. But we want this to be more than just us doing it in the culture with people who appreciate it. We want it to be everybody doing it, everybody who like cares about the gospel and bringing it into conflict with the evil of abortion. So, thanks, James.
All right, I'll see you guys after.
See you later, man. Tell your wife thanks for coming. Hey, is it this week?
Well, Tuesday's the due date, but he's not doing anything.
Tuesday's the due date. Wow.
Yeah.
Future birth here.
Man, she's a trooper. My goodness. See you, Molly.
See ya. I'm gonna have to go pretty soon too. Where are we at on that 100K thing?
98512.
98512.
Yeah, so we're not close.
We're gonna have to be back out here tomorrow for 100,000. But Timothy, man, I gotta leave in time to go to the chocolate shop. I'm just kidding. We probably can't spend that money on chocolate. We do have.
Would you want your mother to be forced to give birth to you?
Is that a serious question?
Yeah, right. Hey,
So
Jack.
it's a good way of the golden rule, right? Do unto others as you would want done unto you. Would I want my mother to murder me or not? Kind of one of those questions that you know the answer to it. No, I don't want my mother to murder me. I don't want anybody's mother to murder them.
Yeah.
People say, well, but like you could have a terrible life. Stop predicting that people's lives are going to be terrible and then murdering them. You say, well, that person could be born and have a terrible life. Well, you murdering them would be the most terrible thing that was ever done to them. So, yeah, it's a crazy question.
Yeah, it's a crazy
It may
question.
have been a joke or something like that, but if it wasn't a joke, just think about it.
Yeah.
Do you want your mother to murder you?
Of course not.
Of course not.
Right.
You say, well, in the womb, I wouldn't know it. Yeah, you wouldn't know it. Your mother murdered you whenever you were 3 months old or 6 months old. I wouldn't remember it up to 3. I can't remember anything.
Yeah.
So it's just, you shouldn't murder people, and you shouldn't want to advocate and argue for murder. The more you argue for murder, the more likely your brain is going to be so fried and frizzled from
How you
that
doing?
that you're going to be
What do
asking
you guys
questions
think?
about whether you want your mom to be forced. Yes.
Real quick, let me get caught up on some super chats. Just saw this channel a little while ago and wanted to support you. It's not much, but I hope it helps. Keep up the good work. Thank you so much, Grant Inlow. That $10.
That's awesome.
Thank you, guys.
Grant.
Cardboard Bear, highly epic content and real confrontations of evil. God bless. Pray that we'd have more people come to us and want to talk and break through this weird thing where we're talking to the void.
Yeah.
I'm missing a lot of questions, guys. I'm sorry. Jackie, thank you so much for $20.
If you put a question and you're
Man, that
like,
is so
hey, you
nice
know
of you
what,
guys.
we missed the question, but you really do want the question answered, and
Tweet
they
at
weren't going to
us.
be able to scroll back and find it. Just ask the question again. Hey, thanks for talking to him for so long.
Oh, yeah,
That's
you're
awesome.
welcome.
Say another way, son.
Yeah, or you can tweet us at Abolition Rising, and
Yep.
we might be able to get back to you.
Yeah, we're able to get to quite a bit of the questions, and especially if they're real serious. Like, I love the comments that are kind of like, hey, I changed my mind on this. I see that quite a bit. I see people moving from either pro-choice to pro-life, and then from pro-life to abolition, and just people saying like, hey, I used to not even think this was an important thing, but I've been watching your channel and I see that it is. Love those comments. Those are great. And if you're sort of like still not there, and you are hung up on something, and you want to ask a question, but you don't want to ask it in public because you think I'm going to make fun of it or something, I will not make fun of it, especially if you send it to me privately. So any question, anytime, we'll get to it.
Wubba Lubba V-Dub, small government for the win, small government for the win. They're like a drug. The more you rely on them, the worse off you are. Yeah,
That's right.
Adrienne Gomez, she's the one that asked about the, about the, what you want your
Problem is our government starts to do everything the opposite. Instead of protecting people's property and keeping people from stealing, the government steals. And instead of protecting people's right to life, it gives people the right to kill. It just tells them when they have to do it, whenever the babies are, small and easy to dispose of. So our government is actually flipped on its head,
right?
Opposite of what it should be. And this massive, wicked machine that, people worship because it's become their god or their nanny or their mom. So everyone looks at the government and says, hey, give me permission to murder and give me handouts, and I will do whatever you tell me to. And that's the world we live in. But it is a world where, praise God, we still have the ability in our political system to push back. Hey, you've walked by a couple times.
Yeah.
Just, you're looking for something? Was it? I'm out of flyers. Was it this?
Wubba Lubba V-Dub, I don't know how much coffee is
I need some
around
more.
you, but here's some coffee funds. I'm in it for the long haul. I'm staying up with y'all.
Staying up.
I appreciate that, man. It wouldn't be
Someone's
much coffee, so.
Hey, we sent somebody to you a second ago, Whiskey Chicks, right?
Keep it up, boys.
Hey, appreciate it, man.
Thanks, man.
I'm scrolling again.
Yeah, thank you for the coffee.
Oh wow.
I don't think I have access to this money. But in honor of that donation, I mean,
just not like immediately.
Yeah, not immediately. But in honor of that, I'm going to buy myself some coffee. I got to drive like an hour or so.
Thoughts on East Orthodox Christianity? Interesting.
Eastern Orthodox Christianity?
Yes. Man, I wish I knew more about Eastern Orthodox.
Yeah, my thoughts would be very. I know some Eastern Orthodox folks that strike me as people who love the Lord, but I don't know enough about them theologically. I know that What? Grey's Anatomy?
She saw us on Grey's Anatomy.
We've not been on Grey's Anatomy. If we were on there, then we were certainly misrepresenting someone like us.
Yeah, I know that
Eastern Orthodox. I don't know enough about it.
I'm put on the spot. I know that there's some egregious error in Eastern Orthodox, and it's not. I believe it's not that they don't believe in the Trinity, but I believe that they disagree about the two natures of Jesus. So they believe. I believe that they believe that Jesus has one nature. Whenever Orthodox, or what I believe is Orthodox Christianity, believes that Jesus has two natures but is one person. So there's issues. I wish I could speak more to it.
There's definitely, I will say this just without sort of like angering the potential Eastern Orthodox person. We'd be honest and tell you what we think is true or not true about it. But all religions, all denominations, or all faiths, or whatever you want to call them, ought to be judged in light of Scripture.
Yeah.
Is the thing that my church teaches from the Word of God, or is it the accumulations of the traditions of men? And I just say that, you need to look at your religions, your denominations, and your teaching the way that Paul said the noble-minded Bereans did. They tested what the religious teacher was saying in relation to the Word of God. They looked at what the Word of God had revealed, and all of these Christian denominations or faiths claim to be like coming from the Word of God. So that's the authority. And so test your faith in its teaching in the light of Scripture.
I wish we were more equipped to answer that question, because I certainly don't want to.
I know there's
misrepresent, but I also don't want to let someone be like, oh, it's okay, there's no issues. Just be.
If I thought it was the best end-all, be-all faith, I did study it a bit in college. I just don't want to speak
they're nice
authoritatively on it, but I would say I would become it if it were the most biblical. I did not find it when I was looking at everything to be a fully biblical. I'm a big fan of icons in the sense of the way they look, but I do disagree with the idea that God uses iconography to put grace into people and so on and so forth. So there are differences that are maybe minor and major, but I will say that I do have a friend who is Eastern Orthodox on Facebook, and he's like a hardcore. He believes that abolitionism is right and best and good, and does the work of abolition. But I don't know. Abolitionism is not likely to gain a big footing in certain denominations because of what they believe about things. So I'm not sure what it is about Eastern Orthodox, but there are not very many Eastern Orthodox abolitionists.
Gibraltar, $50. Thank you for everything you do. It's so inspiring to see you setting an example for the rest of us.
What was his name?
Appreciate Gibraltar. Spelled differently than the city.
Gibraltar.
Gibraltar.
That's awesome.
Is it? That's not how
that's not how you spell it.
With an I,
spell it. Maybe it wasn't available, so we went to. Sorry, we're clowning on you. But no, it's awesome.
Hey, appreciate that, dude. We're just skimming through these, so I'm sorry that I'm not Hey, Chris, what's up? You're on YouTube.
I'm on YouTube?
Yeah.
Oh, sorry, man. You're on YouTube.
No worries.
1 second.
He came out here, standing with a sign. He's just reading YouTube. He's just on YouTube.
I got suckered into this, man. Love what y'all are doing. Y'all aware of any abolitionist groups in Alabama or Mississippi?
I can't just run them off the top of my head, but there are abolitionists in Alabama and Mississippi. Those aren't sort of hotbed areas. That area of the world is kind of more traditional pro-life entrenched. But Paul Abbott lives in Alabama. Paul Abbott, yeah, he lives and works. He's solid. Alabama. They have a website, I believe. It may be on Abolitionist Rising. So go again, abolitionistrising.com. There's a map. Go to the map, find your state, click that state. It'll tell you if there is an abolitionist organization in that state. Now, it's possible that we don't have every single abolitionist society or organization on our map. We put them on the map after they sort of read the Norman Statement, which is where we lay out what we believe abolitionism to be and defend its principles. And any organization that sort of agrees with that and wants to be on the map, we put on our map so that people can find them. I don't believe there's one for Mississippi, but I don't know. Click the state to see if there is. But there are, if you're on Facebook, there are pages and groups like abolitionism groups, and it's easy to get in those groups and say, hey, I'm looking for some people to go out with me in Mississippi, and you will find them. You know, also contacting us, getting on our email list and everything. As the movement grows, more and more people will be added, and it'll be easier and easier to find folks.
What kind of camera equipment do you guys suggest for me and my friends to buy? We want to do what you guys do. I'm a big fan. I think you're going to hear the same thing from everybody, but I'm a huge fan of the Blackmagic cameras. They're a fantastic deal. Get yourself a good tripod. It's worth investing money in a tripod. And yeah, these Rode Go's are great. We we have like a redundant system where everything we say gets recorded into like a cheap little desk recorder. We'll do like a walkthrough of our setup someday. We actually have. Yeah. We'll do that someday.
We have guys tuned for that. Eventually, we want to have like a channel on our channel or whatever. Yeah. List on our channel where Sam and Nathan talk about the video production side. Yeah. Because as I said earlier, getting more people are going to see these videos, the shorts and the reels and the long form videos that we do, then we will be able to engage out in culture. So we want people to go engage people in culture and also to film it and put it up because you're multiplying the reach. Yep. And so I think it's in the works. I don't know when it's going to happen. Yeah, we'll see. There is a plan. Like here's how you do it.
How you doing?
And do it well.
I just said real quickly, the 6K, I think it's totally worth it because we can crop in so much that you can see, like, just get incredible amounts of detail when cropping in. But yeah, it's very user-friendly. So
if you notice the shorts, if you watch the shorts, we'll move around a lot between different people, and that's because they're filming this whole area. And in the event that somebody starts talking, but then they keep talking as they walk away, or they flip us off, or throw something, or whatever, you can just filming that wide of a space, you can move around on it and keep the resolution. But I don't know anything about cameras, but Blackmagic.
Yeah, why are you even talking, man?
I'm just saying, man, you gotta film wide. That's what I'm saying. Film wide.
If you caused a car accident that left me in need of your blood, would it be okay if the government forced you to donate blood to me? Oh, that's a new argument. Never heard
Is that a question about car accidents and blood donation, or is that a bad analogy for abortion? So before we get into that, I mean, that seems a little harsh. I'm not trying to be mean to you, but it is a very bad, inadequate analogy. But to try to take a stab at it anyway, what's going on in a pregnancy is a mother is actually carrying her child, and in abortion, she or somebody else is wanting that child to be dead. It's not like you woke up. Yeah, I forgot what I was saying. But yeah, so it's disanalogous in the sense of we're not doing anything like asking the government to be forced to help people. That's more like a Democrat leftist thing, like wanting the government to be forced to help people that want to do nefarious things. That's sort of a leftist liberal thing. What we're saying is we want the government to stop people from doing nefarious things to their own children.
All right, I got a good question, and we're gonna have to chill on the questions at some point to get into activism.
Yeah, but yeah, like I notice I'm sitting here talking to them, and like people like walking by, they're like,
But
what is this guy yelling at me for?
Sam wanted me to point out this question. Are you guys partnered with the AHA people? What do you think about them confronting churches?
That's funny. Wait, so who asked that? Let me say.
Julian Cawthorn. Cawthorn?
Here, let me just shoot it to you straight. Well, I'll shoot it to you crooked first. Were it not for those AHA people, we would not be out here doing this in the way that we're doing it. Abolitionism was actually reignited, argued for, and first promoted and popularized by abolitionists who used the AHA symbol. The AHA symbol, which, I don't know if you can zoom in there, but it's right there, it's on my shirt. The AHA symbol is a symbol that is used to denote adherence to 5 particular tenets of biblical abolitionism. And one of those tenets is the idea that the church, or that the work of justice begins at the house of God, and that the church of the Lord Jesus Christ is obligated to be salt and light, establish justice for the fatherless, and do the will of God. Namely, summed up by loving God with all your heart, soul, and mind, and loving your neighbor as yourself.
What does AHA stand for?
So AHA stands for Abolish Human Abortion. The symbol is right side up A, 2 lines making an H, and then upside down A for abortion. The 2 lines are I's, image of God, incarnation of Christ. These are the theological propositions which demand that abortion is abolished as the dehumanizing abomination against God that it is. So AHA, that symbol and the using of the symbol, to get back to the point, prior to that, there was no organized abolitionism in the United States or anywhere in the country.
Oh yeah?
It was all.
Yeah.
It was all.
It's you!
Hey, wait, hold on a second. What'd you say? I just looked over and so
hey, appreciate it, bro.
I saw the signs and I'm like, wait, I followed.
Hey man, you're on YouTube too, though.
No.
Yeah, you are. No, here, come here.
Yeah, very good.
You are now.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, like, you're literally on YouTube live right now. See that guy right there?
There he is.
Yeah.
Oh, that's fantastic.
Yeah, man. That's good. Y'all are just out and about.
Yep, we are. We're eating, driving across the country back home. So.
Oh, where's home?
Atlanta.
Oh, nice.
Man.
Yeah.
You ended up coming through here.
That's crazy.
Probably not to see us, but hey, it was
Right,
like
not to see
it was a little
I'm
bonus.
happy that I did.
Little
That's
bonus.
really cool.
Yeah,
That's really cool.
appreciate it.
You should see. We're out here doing. We don't usually do this live like we're doing right now,
Okay.
but we're out here doing it because we're trying to reach 100,000 subscribers. And since you already are one, you know you can't win the prize.
Oh, well.
I'm just kidding. You can take anything you want of our gear, or literature,
cool.
or anything like that.
I appreciate it. Thank you.
But anyway, so what's your name?
Tanner.
Tanner. I'm Russell.
Yep. It's nice to meet you.
Yeah,
We know
nice
some
to meet you.
people. We
This
know some people out in Atlanta that are abolitionists.
Atlanta?
Right? Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Are y'all plugged in church that does anything like this, or
I mean,
abolitionism?
nothing like this. No.
Yeah.
G3 guys.
There's all
might-
sorts of different things
Sure,
to do.
sure.
But yeah.
Where are y'all? Are you from the city?
They said they're from Atlanta.
From Atlanta.
Oh.
Yeah, we were just driving through.
They're from Atlanta, but they heard that we were live streaming tonight, so they came.
Message us on the website and we'll try and get you in contact with some guys in Atlanta.
Awesome, we'll do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're welcome.
See. And see, now it's recorded. It's like we have to help you because he said we have to go over and above to make sure that you're.
Yeah.
So. But that's good that you ran over and said.
Yeah,
Great night. Good
Yeah. Keep it real. Drive safe.
We'll do.
all right, let's speed through these real
So
quick.
to end up on AHA, yes, and full
yeah.
disclosure, yes.
You stood there for a minute.
I-
He looked at you. He looked at
Yeah,
me.
I designed the AHA symbol. Abolitionist Rising is an abolitionist organization that follows and believes all of the same things that AHA believed 12 years ago.
I've been on there a couple times.
But now that more and more people have been convinced of the biblical truth and ideology of it, and they're no longer straw manning it to say, oh, you just attack churches or whatever, which was
I didn't see your
Never true.
never true, but there's stuff to talk about there. But there's like there's different people who do different things, but like what we're doing right now in talking to people in the culture and even talking to Christians and talking to people what their churches do is a part of the Church Repent project. So if you're asking the question saying like, well, I like you guys, but I don't like those AHA people. Sorry, the joke's kind of on you.
Because we're AHA.
We are those AHA people. And if you like what we're doing now, we've always been doing what we're doing now. It's not that we've changed, it's that the culture's changed.
Yep.
And I mean the Christian culture. And then last thing, I happen to go to Edmonds First Baptist Church here in Oklahoma, and out here with me is a brother over here, I don't know if you can see him, Nicholas, who actually did the thing that you're saying.
They didn't.
Are you?
They didn't necessarily say that AHA.
I know.
Right.
But I go to a church that, that I'm a member of Edmonds First Baptist Church, and it is a church that was engaged by abolitionists outside with signs, and the pastor at that church has repented, and he is an abolitionist. His name is Blake Gideon, and he's a leading abolitionist pastor in our state. So that method, scorned as it is, actually does and has been shown to bear fruit. So sorry if I offended you with my answer, but
I think you're reading into their question.
I'm probably reading into the question.
All right.
Yes, we have no problems with them. And
Seagoing77 says, thank you for what you are doing. I just recently stepped down from a local pro-life board of directors due to changing my belief, and you were part of that. I am now an abolitionist and want to start doing the work.
Man. I want to shake that guy's hand and give him a big hug.
We don't know if it's Seagoings. Is that a guy?
What's that?
Seagoing77. Don't know if that's a guy.
Whoever you are, that takes actually a lot of courage.
Yeah.
That takes more courage than this.
Yeah.
Being willing to look at the other pro-lifers who don't want to go with criminalization or don't want to bring the gospel into it, want to focus on incrementalism instead of abolitionism. That takes a lot of thinking, preparation, and courage, and willingness to follow a biblical ideology. A lot of other people are doing what they've always done and thinking it's good. So awesome for you.
I think we should probably, if you have more questions, tweet at us, Facebook message us, all those things. We've done Russell and I here have done virtually no activism now,
Yeah.
So I think we're going to take a second, at least a little bit, and just try and engage with some people. Does that sound good to you?
Sounds good to me. Hey, thank you for all the questions and the running remarks. I'll go back and read all of them later tonight.
There's
while I'm eating my chocolate.
Thousands of messages. So.
I'll go back and read 10% of those messages. Anyway, love you all. Thank you for being on the live stream chat. We may go live again here in a bit. We may not.
Wait, we're still doing this for a little bit though, right?
Oh, we're still going live?
Yeah.
Oh, we're not shutting it off.
No, I was just saying we're going to do activism for a minute.
We're going to stop talking to you and talk to people out here.
Yeah. It's not too late.
Awesome.
When do you need to be gone?
I have an errand. And then I have a wife and newborn and kids. Well, my older kids are already in bed, so. But I used to be a night owl, stay up all night long, and now I'm always go to bed when my wife goes to bed. Yeah, it's much better for you.
How you doing, man? What do you think about all this? You agree with that?
Maybe part of it, but not all of it?
I don't know. How much you
I mean, we think there's a right answer, but we're not going to jump on you if you just give your honest answer.
I agree with what you're saying, but not what you're standing for.
What are we standing for? Equal rights for all humans.
Okay.
I agree with what
you're saying,
but not what you're saying.
I think he doesn't agree with the holding signs.
Holding a sign. Well,
We'll stop it then.
It's good. It's good that the guy, you know, stops and reads the sign.
He's a nice guy.
The problem is when someone says, I don't agree with, like, you're holding signs, it doesn't work. And you're like, well, you stopped and you read it and you talked to us. Kind of works.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, we could have a bullhorn. We could have amplification.
Yeah, could have a bullhorn. It could be yelling at people, but.
How you doing?
So since this is going live and I can't, I was gonna ask if anyone wanted water.
Oh yeah.
And go get us some water.
Hey Shells, can you get us some water?
You want some water and stuff? I can go buy some water over here.
Actually, I've got to go validate our ticket, so I was going to run down the Fuzzy's.
Kill two birds with one stone.
We could all go to Fuzzy's. Yeah, or we can all go to Fuzzy's.
It's true. It is kind of slowing down a little bit. And the whole time that we were talking to the cameras, it's like, man, people are going all over the place.
Yeah, man, we really should do
this more often.
I guess Sam's got some water. That's not enough for all of us, though.
Mine's cooler than his. I'm just kidding. It's the same stuff. Just check it out. You're gonna read. Thank you. Anyway, we may actually take a little break, or try to figure out what we're gonna do next.
Russell's getting old.
Getting old.
Getting old. He can't do this for more than 20 minutes.
My wife is putting down 3 kids that are crazy, and they're used to me watching a Dude Perfect with them before they sing their songs and pray and all that kind of stuff.
He's playing the kid card.
And then I have a rematch with my wife playing Rummy Cube. That's right. You wanna? How old is this guy?
Is that true?
He's
really?
playing Rummy Cube with his wife.
Is that really true?
Yes, it's true that we're playing Rummy Cube. It's also true that we have a rematch tonight.
That's amazing, dude.
But we're having a rematch because I beat her last night. I'm just kidding.
Goodness.
We
That's
may not be. If she's probably not going to be awake.
I beat her last night. T. Russell.
Oh yeah, so
yeah.
Clip that.
Yeah. Y'all play Mahjong too?
No, we don't play that Mahjong stuff.
Yeah. Mahjong's for the youngins, right?
Mahjong's for those young kids.
Yeah, 2 Gen Z for you.
Man, I've gotten rid of all my literature consistently. I don't know how I did that. Whenever we stop talking, we stop talking to the people on the channel, and we stop talking to them, and then people stop walking by. So,
you want to answer some questions more?
We can answer some questions. Let me walk over there and talk to Sam real quick and see what he's thinking.
Did you unplug it real quick?
I didn't unplug it, but
here I'll show you what
going to.
You can mute yourself just by unplugging either of those. So yeah, I'll answer some questions to the best of my ability.
All right.
The viewership's going to immediately drop.
Oh, whatever. You're so beautiful.
Oh, thank you.
Yes, I can.
Yeah. Oh, man. I like this one the most. I like this one the most because it's very obviously like gospel. Like, let's talk about the gospel when we can. And we haven't been able to do that this much today, but tenet 1 of abolitionism is gospel-centered. All right. Eastern Orthodoxy is the one and only apostolic and Catholic Church. I don't believe you. How you doing, sir? Not too good? Can I help you with anything? So can I help you with anything? None of us are around our cars. I said none of us are around our cars. Or we can't take you anywhere. Sorry, man.
I want to get a goddamn cab. Go get me a goddamn pill.
Yeah.
Yeah. Bitch. I got my own goddamn money.
All right. This guy does not like me. Did you hear what he was saying? That was not good. This is Oklahoma City. This is Bricktown, right in the middle of Oklahoma City. That's where we're at. I appreciate everybody who's come on here. I'm sorry, things are slowing down. Russell's a very, he doesn't want to go too long. So he's going to come back out here, but he's getting some water for us.
What did he say?
Hey, what do you guys think? What do you think about our signs?
What was the subscribers at the beginning?
98. 98.
What do you think about that?
Yeah. We didn't just.
You know?
Did we
That's
just
good?
witness a demon? I guess some guy just like.
You do like Jesus?
Nathan. Can you
That's
hear
good.
it?
He forgives forgives
Can you
murderers. He
hear
forgives any sin. You place your faith in Christ.
I like this.
Okay. If you place your faith in Christ, He will save you from whatever you've done.
I don't really know a lot about abortion, but I know there's murder.
Yeah. Well, then you know enough.
Somebody in his past life.
Oh yeah.
I was in World War II.
You in World War II in your past life? I believe you. I think that's true. What was your name in your past life?
I was in a coma.
Yeah. You saw who? Yeah? I don't think you believe that. I don't think you believe that. I don't think you believe that you were in a coma and you saw Jesus in your past life whenever you were in World War II. Okay, well. Hope you enjoy your night. What?
Have a good night.
Good night. Man. People are gonna
Yeah,
be
sorry
trolling me
about
because
that.
I'm
I
not like,
was
sharing the gospel well.
mic'd up. I was on the other side of the camera and I was trying to figure out if Nathan, there was comments about, did we just see a demon? I was like, man, what happened?
So I just timed in over the past 5 minutes, you all have gotten 20 new subscribers. This means it will take another 5.5 hours to get to 100,000. Just thought you might be interested in that.
5.5 hours?
Yeah, we'll get there.
Yeah, we,
hold up, I can plug back in.
We didn't, I am plugged back in.
Okay.
We didn't know whether we would get to 100,000 while we're out here or not. We were still going to do it anyway. But we are going to basically shut down this live stream for the evening, and we will get to 100K while we're sleeping.
Yeah, maybe.
Actually, everyone else is going to go home. I'm going to stand out here with the signs, just talking to people until everyone else is asleep. And then whenever everyone else is asleep, I will be like, okay, my work's done, and I'll...
Yeah.
No. But anyway, thank you for watching the live stream. Thank you for all the questions. We will actually go back through and see if there are some great questions that can be used to answer things. We are in the process of creating an FAQ, a massive frequently asked questions list for our website. So James, who left earlier, is going to be doing that. So, you know, this is very helpful. Thanks for all the people who give, and thanks for the people who, you know, participated. We're going to try to do this more frequently. We'll still be making the shorts, still be making the videos, doing everything we can, but from time to time, get out here and do this, because it's been pretty good. Hope it's been good for y'all. So, with that, we all get to go pee now.
There you go.